Live from Deathray Studios in the sunny West Valley of Phoenix, it's Late Night with the Davey. Appearing on this week's show, Brett and Brad from Good Real Hunting. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Davey Deathray. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here in my traveling studio. Yeah, it's like every single time I'm on, it's a little bit of a different look. But folks, I will be in my new studio here in the middle of the month, 10 or 11 days. We'll see how that all goes. Might take me a little bit to get it all set up, but so pumped that you guys are here for, gosh, feels like it's been a while since we've done a true late night with the Davey, because my schedule's sort of changed. So we've been able to do some before dark episodes of late night that have been really fun. Just getting some folks in across the pond. That's been really, really cool. And yeah, once mid-February hits here, we're going to be going strong. And with my new work schedule and everything, I should be able to do a lot more pre-recorded videos. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And yeah, guys, we've got a really good one tonight. I want to say what's up to everybody here in the chat, and then we'll go ahead and bring on our guests and have a fun little discussion here. So let's see who we got. We got Lamontre Gillard jumping in. What's happening, Lamontre? Great to see ya. We got King Matthew III chiming in with his Scream 3 thoughts. Yes, yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Scream 3, and Matthew says Scream 3 was the last great one in my opinion. 4, 5, and 6 were trash. Oh my goodness. I hope Scream 7 pulls a Scream 3 and gives us Dewey tapes like how 3 did Randy tapes. Okay. All right. And Matthew also wants he wants a little Mark Kincaid breadcrumbs helping Roman. Interesting. You know, seeing the movie in the theater, I thought there's a chance it could be the cop. And then they seem to table that for one of the later movies here. Chris from Movie Misfits Video. What's happening, Chris? Great to see you, man. He says, Scream 3 is my favorite of the sequels. Wait until this Who Killed Who episode with the second killer being put back in. Really excited to get reactions to that. Yeah, guys, if you don't sub over to Movie Misfits Video, you're going to want to go over there. Throw Chris a sub. He put together his own Who Killed Who series. I believe that's kicking off here at the end of the month. Chris, feel free to share the link for your channel in the chat there, so people can, can follow you and get ahead of that and set those notifications and everything. We got Antonis Andriotis, one of our great channel members. How you doing, Antonis? Great to see ya. We got Dean Renner, another great channel member and Patreon member as well. Always a pleasure to see you, Dean. Dean's channel, Enter the Cinevault's really, really cool. You guys should check out his channel. Jamie Hart, our original Death Squad mod and channel member, says Scream 3 is my favorite out of the whole franchise. That is, I don't know if I'd consider it a hot take, but it is a rare take. That's for sure. I feel like, with so many of these horror franchises, usually people prefer the first movie most of the time. Yeah, maybe Friday the 13th is the exception there most of the time. Yeah, and we'll pick the brains of our guests here and see what they think about their favorite in the franchise. My favorite sequel is Scream 4, and I don't even know if it's close. I'm a big Scream 4 fan. Really, really enjoy that one. We got Billy Judd jumping on in. What's happening, Billy? Great to see you as always. We got Sergeant Shitty Pickle. Here's Shitty. What's happening, Shitty? Hope you're doing well. Ryan Olashow in the chat. How are you doing, Ryan? So great to see you. Gosh, I wish Halloween 4 used that mask that's in your icon there that they used on the poster. Those bastards. They really threw us a curveball there. Shitty says Scream 3 has become my third favorite of the series. All right, not so bad. Out of 6, not so bad. Who else do we got in here? We got Aaron Click. What's happening, Aaron? So great to see you. Adrian James, always a pleasure to see you as well. Gene Whitacombe, what's happening, Gene? Always a pleasure. Hope you're having a great week so far. Ashton Luck is in the chat. Hey, howdy, hey. What's happening, Ashton? We got Reese Wilson. G'day, folks. How are you doing, Reese? Always a pleasure, man. So happy you could join us here. Wayne Gottke is in the chat as well. How are you doing, Wayne? Hope you're having a great week and a great day so far. Chester Franklin Jr. What's happening, Chester? I love it. You know, I can tell sometimes when the guests really bring in some folks. And I'm not, you know, I know a lot of you guys, you jump in on the stream just depending on what the topic is and everything. But it's really great to see all the amazing support. Aaron says, I hope Scream 7 gives us Dewey and Gale uncensored tapes. Maybe. You never know. You know, with all the casting news, and we might talk about Scream 7 a little bit here with our guests after, you know, pondering on Scream 3 a little bit. Yeah, you know, with today's technology, you never know what we're going to get and, you know, and who's going to show up in the movie that they won't announce. Maybe they're announcing people because they know that we're going to find out at some point anyways, and maybe they're trying to throw us off the trail of, you know, maybe bringing back some other legacy performers that we wouldn't see coming. Who else do we got here? Our Life in Horror. What's happening, Sam? So great to see you. I saw your Twitter post about the person out there, the Spyglass hater that's spoiling heart eyes for people on Twitter. Guys, I might leave Twitter just because people spoil movies on there. It has nothing. It's not a political statement, but it's like even after, like, what was it? Like the day after Deadpool and Wolverine came out, like stuff was being spoiled. Like if you didn't see it the first night, you're just screwed. And then even Terrifier 3, I was like, man, you guys are like showing gifs of scenes that are not in the trailer. I think that's the biggest gripe I've got with Twitter right now, other than the incredibly toxic Scream people on there as well, the Spyglass haters. Let's see who else we got. Boom. Thank you so much, Cody. He's got the link for our guests, Brett and Brad from Good Real Hunting. You guys are going to want to go over there and sub if you haven't already. Just give them a chance. You know what I mean? Come on. It's the least you could do. And then, you know what? I think what I'll do, pardon me for a moment, I am going to pin that link in the chat. It's also in the description, guys. So if you want to, gosh, so frustrating sometimes with, there we go. Sorry, sometimes scrolling through the chat on YouTube is a pain in the ass. But yeah, there's a link in the description below as well for Good Real Hunting. But there you go. I pinned it in the chat. We also have a poll going on in the chat. What are your thoughts on Scream 3? We got 20 votes. All right. So participate in that if you're hanging out in the chat. 70% of folks are saying that they really enjoy it. 30% are saying this one never really spoke to me. Fair enough. All right, who else do we got in here? We got Prince in the chat. What's happening? Prince, I'm just kind of living out of a suitcase right now, so the Blazer is in storage. So I'm going to be bringing the Blazer back. Don't you guys worry. It's just, I'll catch you guys up on all that stuff when I'm in my new studio. I'm not going to dive into it right now, but I'll catch you guys up on what's going on. And yeah, we'll bring the Blazer back. Don't worry about it, Prince. Jamie is usually divergent. Yeah, I can be that way. I guess it just depends, right? I'm a big Halloween Ends fan, right? So it's like, I know that that's probably considered divergent to some folks. I really like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 as well. It's not like my favorite in the franchise, but I enjoy it more than his remake. So definitely divergent here also. Reese says Scream 3 is easily the funniest in the series. Parker Posey is hysterical. Parker Posey's awesome. She's a friggin' scene stealer. I'm a huge Josie and the Pussycats fan, and holy crap, she's really good in that one as well. Best in Show. Oh man. I know I don't talk about comedy like a crazy amount on the channel, but that's I would say like horror and comedy are just like neck and neck for favorite film genre. I'm so much more interested in talking about horror on YouTube because I love the community. And I feel like we're a very excitable bunch here in the horror YouTube sphere. So it's fun to engage in that conversation. Let's see who else we got going. There we go. We got the Good Real Hunting guys in the chat. Davey is the man. Oh, I don't know about that, but that's very sweet of you guys to say. Very, very sweet. Let's see here. Just make sure I'm not missing anybody else here before we really get going. By the way, have I missed any Scream news that's dropped within the last couple hours since I've been preparing for for the show? Because it seems like the news just keeps on dropping for this upcoming film. Herbert Getty's in the chat, says Roman Bridger was a great Ghostface. I agree, Herbert. We'll get into all that, but I seem to enjoy Scream 3 more and more every time I watch it. Casual night with the Davey, says T. Parker Evans. That's right. I guess I could button up one more. I don't need to button it up, but I'm not trying to go like full Hasselhoff here with my chest showing or anything like that. Let's see who else we got. I didn't even shout him out earlier when he shared the Good Real Hunting link, but we got Cody Snyder, our great Death Squad mod and channel member, hanging out. And we got Brett hanging out in the chat. How are you doing, Brett? Great to see ya. Brett number 1. Yeah, so we got Brett number 1 and Brett number 2. And it's Brett number 2's 50th birthday today. Everybody wish Brett a very happy birthday. 50, man, the big 50. That is a huge milestone. I hope you're having a great birthday, Brett, and I hope it's been filled with a whole bunch of stuff you really love, and then it's been, low stress, low anxiety, all that kind of fun stuff. Happy birthday, man. Let's show Brett some love there in the chat. We got Brooke Scarlett in the chat. What's happening, Brooke? Always a pleasure to see you. One of our great Death Squad mods and channel members. Wayne says, how is it we're getting all of this Scream news, but we can't get a single update on the upcoming Halloween series? Wayne, I just figured they're probably not going to release that series until the 50th anniversary. So they're probably just working on it in the background. And I'm okay with that. We're so blessed with 3, I really enjoyed the David Gordon Green trilogy. None of them are perfect. But Halloween fans have been very blessed. And not only that, but we don't have to worry about rights issues like the Friday the 13th fandom, which I'm a part of that as well. But I feel bad for folks if that's their favorite franchise. And even A Nightmare on Elm Street, because I really don't know what the Craven estate is doing with that or if they have any plans at all. But we're very blessed to be Halloween fans. And I'm okay with it being a little chill for a while. Also looking forward to Heart Eyes this weekend. Really looking forward to Thanksgiving 2 this fall. So I'm hoping that 2025 is, just as great as 2024 was for horror. So we'll see. T. Parker says, breaking, Courtney Cox's Scream 3 bangs cast in Scream 7. I watched Scream 3 last night over on Pat That Halloween Movie Collectors watch along. Just had it casted on the side as we watched through it. I think, the bangs are pretty silly. I guess I'm sort of over it at this point, though. They don't really bug me anymore. I don't know why. We got Robert the Wolfman. Ow, ow! Hanging out in the chat. One of our great Death Squad mods and channel members. Hope you're doing well, Robert. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Gosh, I miss you and Cecil. Gotta get some hangs on. Did you see Hard Eyes last week, Robert? Let me know in the chat. Let me know. I think I saw that you guys had reviewed it, but I've stayed away from any reviews just because I want to go in totally, uninfluenced by anything. Let's see here. 3 years. I forgot we're in 20. Yeah, it'll be a while, T. Parker. Yeah, 50th anniversary. We may get that announcement on a new film and the series that pop off. But what I don't expect from Malik is I don't expect them to announce a series and then not do anything with it for 2.5 years and restart it like twice, like the Crystal Lake series. Good God, y'all. What the hell are they doing over there? We got Trisha McMasters, one of our great channel members and Patreon members as well. Hope you're doing awesomely here, Trisha. Big Rod is in the house, one of our great channel members. Hope you are doing well. Let's see here. I think we're all caught up on everyone. Was it? I don't think anything like that's been confirmed, Billy. No plot details that I know of. really just the casting and the fact that it's, what do they say? It's going to focus on Sydney and her family. That's really, I think at this point, that's all they've really said for sure. All right, guys, it looks like I've said what's up to everyone. We got 29 people hanging out on the stream. Thank you guys so much for kicking it with us late night on a Wednesday. Please make sure that you click that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with somebody in your life that you think would enjoy this kind of content. And if you're watching after the fact, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts on Scream 3. Hell, you can just let me know your thoughts on the whole entire franchise and tell me, you know, give me like a barometer check on how excited you are for Scream 7. I know we're about a year away, so it's going to be a lot of Scream 7 talk for the next year. And speaking of 29 people being in on the stream, we have 29 votes. Looks like 76% of people really enjoy Scream 3 and 24%, you know, not really. I'm actually kind of surprised. I think that Scream 3 is sort of having a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a resurgence or people are just warming up to it as the years go on and they, you know, the newer films come out and then they watch, you know, rewatch Scream 3. Let's see here. Reese wants Gale to be the opening kill, would be a strong way. I mean, they've got to kill off one of the legacy characters, right? That's just kind of how you do it, you know? That's just how you got to do it. All right, guys, I've been BSing for about 17 minutes. I'm super excited to have our guests on here tonight. You know, Brett from Good Real Hunting was on, gosh, one of the first episodes, maybe like the third episode? I don't know, Brett, with Destiny Faulkner. That was when we did like the 2 guests at a time. Was it Destiny? No, it was Dice. It was Dice, right? There we go. Who was with Destiny? I'm like, oh, who was that? I don't know. But yeah, actually, Brett, it was the first time I had 2 guests on at the same time. So it was Dice Roland and Brett. That was a lot of fun having them on. And it's really cool to bring these guys back. Man, if you don't sub over at Good Real Hunting, click the link that's pinned in the chat. Give them a sub. These guys taught me, you know, how to really appreciate and show love to the chat. It's one of the biggest things I've learned from their channel. I really enjoy their dynamicism. Sometimes, like, you know, on my channel, like, yeah, I have guests on and everything, but other times I just fly solo, and it's really fun to see people kind of have that bounce back and forth. You know, that contrast of opinions sometimes. Like if we're talking a Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, I know there's a little bit of headbutting going on there, and a few other films as well. So yeah, guys, without any, you know, it might have been Brit. I don't know, though. I don't know. I think I may have had that thought, but I think I was like, was that too on the nose to have the couple on at the same time? I don't know. But yeah, guys, without any further hold up, let's go ahead and bring on Brett and Brad from Good Real Hunting. How are you guys doing today?
Terrific. Excited to be here, man. Late night. It's late at night.
Yeah.
We're excited, man.
Hell yeah.
Brad, what the hell are you doing?
What's up?
You guys already upset about Nightmare on Elm Street?
I want to make it clear in the chat. That wasn't me. I do not like Halloween Ends. Brad, quit sabotaging the channel.
You know you like it a little bit, though. You know you like it a little bit.
Just only the Cunningham or the Corey Cunningham parts of it, but how dare you?
AKA the whole movie.
My name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ashton's throat.
We are not off to a good start right now.
Yeah. A great start.
Well, I mean, the good thing is we don't have to talk about Halloween Ends or A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. Not tonight.
That could be another night, but I also want to clear one thing real quick. I know everybody's calling Brett in the chat Brett number 2, but I always say he's Brett number 1 because he's the first Brett in the Drum Done live chats, and I'm the second Brett. So Brett is number 1. I want to clear that up too.
All right, and he's older than you, I would imagine. I don't think that you're over 50 years old. Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
I haven't even begun to be in my middle 30s. This year I will. So.
Nice, man. Yeah. So, guys, I wanted to start things off tonight. I know we're, you know, Scream 3 is probably going to be, you know, the bulk of the conversation, or just talking about Scream in general. But you guys have your Real Horror Awards 2025 is kicking off tomorrow. And how many years have you guys been doing the awards show?
3 years.
Yeah.
So this is the third, or this will be the fourth?
This is the third year.
Yeah.
Nice. And guys, there is a link. Go ahead, Brad.
I was just going to say I'd say it's probably the biggest show we do every year. I mean, at this point, for the last 3 years, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and Brett does a lot of work to set it all up and stuff. So it's gonna be really cool.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I
and so guys,
wait for my mini naps after tomorrow night
to listen to Apple Music.
Oh, you guys got Apple Music going on? So yeah, guys, there is a link in the description below so you can set the notification bell because you don't want to miss this show. There's a whole bunch of YouTube content creators contributing here. I'm presenting one of the categories tomorrow. I'm not going to give it away because I don't know if that stuff is out there. So I just want it to be all a surprise when it can be out. So I got to present cinematography, which you guys know. I got a big old rubbery one for cinematography. So that was really awesome. And I think we've got, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Dean, who's in the chat, is a presenter as well. Is that right?
Yeah, he was a last minute. I had to take care of some last minute no-goes, which Dean Reiner's one of them, and Jamie Hart is also another one too, and they have been nothing but terrific to work with. And we had to actually do one more surprise, but I'm not going to reveal those gentlemen until tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah, that'll be a lot. Yeah, that'll be an epic surprise for sure, dude.
Awesome. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, just about what made you guys want to start doing the awards show. And, it sounds, I mean, just coordinating everything, reaching out to content creators, coming up with your categories and, narrowing your list of, nominees. How do you guys go about that? Is that a collaborative thing? Is it something where Brett, you're taking the lead on that every year or how does that, just give me a little bit of history on there? And what it all entails.
Brad, do you want to go? Okay.
No. This is Bert. This is your creation. So you tell us where it came from and everything.
It's just I had a dream. One night, and it's about just us being goofballs and presenting an award show for celebrating the best horror movies. Since the Oscars decides not to appreciate the horror genre, and as I take a quote from Thanos on this one, fine, we'll do it ourselves. And that's exactly what we did too. And this is, since as Brad alluded to, it is a lot of hard work, but it is hard work that is so fulfilling. And that's why I enjoy doing it every single year. I know Brad over here enjoys doing it, especially on the skits side of things. I know that's what he really enjoys the most of all of our skits that we do is the Real Horror Awards. And also a shout out to our buddy Good Real Chris, that he is the skit editor and he has done nothing but been hard at work on editing the skit. I get that skit tonight so we can present that bad boy tomorrow. But Brad, do you want to kind of talk about how we got all this together from the nominee standpoint?
Yeah, so it's something we kind of tweak every year. We started off, I don't think we've had the exact same list of nominees every year, but every year we kind of talk about it. We find out which categories make sense for that year of movies. Sometimes we'll do, like 2022, for instance, was a year where we had a lot of newcomers in horror. So that was kind of a category. And we've gone away from that because, we've jumped back into a lot of sequels and stuff since then. But we kind of change it up every year based on what the movies give us. I mean, you have the classics, we have the best kill, the best horror movie, the best actor, the best actress, all that cool stuff. That's always there. But some of the more niche categories we change every year. But we just talk about it. We had a list of like 50 or something this year and we got it down to 25. So yeah, it's always fun to kind of put that itinerary together.
Yeah, and I saw somebody in the chat said, what time is the show tomorrow? It's going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern time. That is when the show it's going to be. And also want to throw a little something out there, Fo. Our goal for our channel, we always said that if we get to 2,000 subscribers, we're going to elevate our Real Horror Awards show to a level that no one has ever tackled before. And that is the Real Horror Awards. Best of all time.
That's gonna be fun,
okay.
It'll happen. It'll happen, man.
Yeah, guess what? Right now, just to give y'all a little taste, I have 91 categories. So I need 91 YouTube channels. So hit me up.
Damn. So that's pretty epic to do best of all time. Not even breaking it down by decade. You're just like best of all time.
Everything in.
Just jumping it in.
We're crazy.
Hell yeah. Now with the show, do you guys? I'm curious to know. Is it just going to be a pre-recorded thing, or is it you do part of it live and then you just run the videos of the presenters? Like, is there a component of it that is live?
Yeah, it's live. Everything about it's live except for when we get the presenters' videos. Those are pre-recorded. And Brett edits them and puts clips in to kind of coordinate. But we're live tomorrow, and then we play the videos, kind of like you said. So it's fun, and then we'll throw in the skit as well. I think in its total, it's probably around 20 minutes. I mean, it was last year, and I think it's going to be about the same this year, maybe a little bit longer. So we break that up into chunks. 30 minutes.
Yeah, I got that confirmation this morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh crap.
So and the skit we do every year, the last 3 years, is just kind of a combination of different horror movies throughout the year. We kind of put ourselves in situations where we're facing obstacles from those movies, and we'll kind of leave it at that. But we break that up into smaller segments throughout the show, as you can see the long story being told throughout the night. So that's a lot of fun too. So we have those uploaded in there, and we'll play those as well with the other videos. And we just kind of host it, and it's usually a lot of fun. I mean, just for me to kind of see it all come together, because Brett sees all the videos as they come in and he edits them, but I usually don't until it's the night of, just because I let him do his thing. So it's always kind of fun for me anyway, sitting here and watching it all unfold and all the work that he did. So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, and just to kind of add on some more things into it, we are going to do a first ever Real Horror Award Memoriam, where we do like a recognition of all the horror icons that we lost last year too, and to give them their respect too. So you'll see, of course, Olivia Hussey and Tony Todd, and some others that you might not even know about, and the projects that they were involved in, just to get them their shout out dues. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there as well.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. And you guys going to be wearing tuxes, or what's up?
Yeah, Brett is anyway.
The tux t-shirt. There you go.
Yeah, bring this back. This shirt has been going 3 years strong. So
nice.
Yeah. Brett's going to do the tux. I don't know. I'm kind of like you, Davey. I just moved, and some of my stuff just didn't make the trip. I don't know what happened to it. There's stuff going on everywhere. It's crazy. It was a crazy couple months for me, but maybe it'll turn up before tomorrow. We'll see. You
should go just opposite. Just go topless, Brad.
What's shrinking?
Like draw, dude. No, topless, but draw a bow tie like on your neck, like Sharpie a bow tie.
Yeah, a blue one. I like that.
Swayze and the Chippendale segment on Saturday Night
There you go. There you go. That's a classic. Yeah.
I could whip out the blazer with no shirt. I could do that. I mean, that's an option as well. Maybe with a painted bow tie on there. That could be really cool.
Yeah.
Big things. Yeah. Great question. And I actually, you know what? Didn't think about it, but abso-freaking-lutely I'm going to now. I think that's actually a very respectable thing to do. So thank you so much for cleaning that to my attention. I got some work to do after this show to make sure I get that in there. So thank you so much, Billy.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to get Raymond in there for sure.
And the other last thing too, if some of you are new in the chat that I've have a pleasure to meet for the first time, or we have a pleasure to meet for the first time, go on our channel and type in Real Horror Awards, or even in the search bar of YouTube, Real Horror Awards. If you just want to kind of get acquainted with what the show's about, we got our 2 previous shows from 2023 and 2024, just to get you a little taste of what's to come. But just expect it'll be a bigger feel show tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And what's funny? You were saying that, the Academy never seems to really recognize horror. And it's kind of funny because this year, I feel like they finally felt the pressure. like they've got some in there. I mean, the substance.
I've been sending them dirty emails.
Yeah. I mean, the substance, of course, made a huge splash, and for really good reasons. And I guess it is a movie that, it is a horror film, but it's got that kind of, I'm not going to say elevated. It's just got that Kubrickian look and feel to it. There's just something a little, extra level going on with the substance. So it'll be cool to see, what it's nominated for in your guys' show and what kind of awards it can pick up. I have the feeling that Demi Moore is going to win the Oscar.
Awesome,
I don't know. I got a feeling that it's finally going to happen. And then we're just one step away from Terrifier 4 winning a special effects Oscar here in a couple years.
Hey, but Nosferatu as well got a lot of noms, and I would love to see Robert Eggers'
Yeah.
film finally get a cinematography Oscar because it's well deserved, especially for
Yes.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Man,
actually a good time.
when I saw that movie, the biggest thing that stood out to me is I've never been the biggest Aaron Taylor Johnson fan, and he blew my socks off in that movie. I walked out of the theater being like, wow, I feel like a jerk now, because I think he was I love Willem Dafoe and Nicholas Hoult. Those guys are always top notch, but I felt like Aaron Taylor Johnson was the biggest surprise, like for me in there, just the whole range of emotion that he shows. And the one thing about Nosferatu that when I read like a couple weeks after it came out, and they're like, oh, originally Eggers wanted to do it like he wanted to do like a impressionist. He wanted to go like Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I don't know if you guys have seen that film or if anyone in the chat's seen that film, but he wanted the sets to be like surreal and just sort of a little more abstract. And I'm like, ooh, that might have been the thing for me that would make me call Nosferatu a masterpiece, because I don't think I'm quite there with masterpiece. It is a beautiful film, absolutely. But there was something there where I was like, I guess the only thing I worry about with Eggers, because I love what he does, is I just don't want him to fall into that like Hollywood darling, start making movies that are relatively safe. So I know he's doing a werewolf movie next year. I hope that the werewolf movie gets a little dirtier and is a little more like something that we're kind of used to. I always have to like put the subtitles on for his movies, like The Witch and The Lighthouse. I'm like, I can't understand what the fuck these people are saying. So like, I got to be able to read it, because the attention to detail in the screenplay is amazing as well. So really, really pumped for Eggers and the whole crew there. And
I actually learned something today too, that he took a lot of inspiration from Batman Returns. Actually,
I saw that,
cinematography shots and everything. So I was like, okay, well, this movie got a lot better.
And the man, it's almost like, it's not really a black and white movie, but in a lot of ways, it's kind of like black and blue, or like orange and black. I noticed that too. Very limited. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So yeah, guys, again, please check out Good Real Hunting's channel. Give them a sub. Check out those previous 2 years of the Real Horror Awards, and also in the link in the description below for the for the show tomorrow is down there. So click that, set that notification so you get that half-hour bell on your phone that lets you know that the show is about to start. You're not going to want to miss that one. It's going to be a banger. You're going to get a whole bunch of great content creators on there, and these guys' skits are amazing. So you don't want to miss anything that these guys are going to throw out there at you tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, and I'll just tell you, I saw like at least 13 minutes of it today. You're not going to want to miss it.
Hell yeah. Jason from Backtracks got some love for Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Yeah, that's one of the creepiest, like, I don't know, that movie kind of scares the hell out of me. Old as balls, but very, very scary, very effective. And yeah, Aaron Click says here, I'd like to see an Eggers film without a cock or old people nudity. Not sure if he can do it.
Hey, The Witch didn't have any of that. It had some, I think it had a bird like pecking on a titty, but I didn't have anything like
it had a Victoria's Secret model in it. Like, what more can you want in a movie?
Yeah,
it did have an old witch though nudity, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Damn.
Yeah, no cock though, but Nosferatu, yeah.
1,000-year-old cock. Like,
I was kind of confused. I was like, so his body's falling apart, but he has a mustache. How does that work? Oh no, MAGA throwing out his Fly Eagles Fly. Oh no,
it's okay. I got
Birdie
you.
Boy.
Cry Eagles Cry on the road to losing. ELEGES Eagle. Whatever the fuck the mayor.
That was close. That was you had the right letters.
No, screwed it up. I was just making fun of the mayor. So
I've seen people that do they do the cakes where they misspell it. I'm a Redskins fan, so I don't think I can root for the Eagles here. Although if they win, then it's cool because a team from my division won, and it just sort of like, since I'm not a Chiefs fan, just to see a little something different in the rematch, I guess I would take it. But whatever, I'm just gonna eat a shitload on Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm terrified because we are playing a very good team. But we got the pieces to do it. So we just got to go out there and do it. So best of luck to both teams. It'll be a fun Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Eagles are like an all-star team. The way they run their offensive and defensive lines are scary good. It's gonna be, it's gonna be really tough, man. I don't think you can feel comfortable against Kansas City. And guys, we will slow down the sports talk here, but I don't think you can feel comfortable against Kansas City unless you have a 17-point lead.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Davey. Automatic touchdown by the Chiefs.
Of course, a Chiefs fan would have a damn penalty flag just at his disposal, ready to go.
Hey, I paid good money for it.
I bet you did.
Unnecessary roughness, thinking about hitting Patrick Mahomes as he prances out of bounds, 15 yards, automatic touchdown.
Making fun of his Kermit impersonation, number 97 on the defense.
He is a Southern Kermit the Frog. He's like,
yeah, I think we're doing really good. I think, I'm a Southern Kermit the Frog.
Good.
Yeah, I do Southern Kermit the Frog.
Dude, that's very good. I'm impressed.
Thanks. Hey, I do what I can. All right, so guys, we've talked about sports. We've talked about your channel. Done. And we're done. We're good night, everybody. No. But yesterday we, marked 25 years of, Scream 3, and it's a topic that's on, Scream in general is on everybody's lips these days with all the juicy Scream 7 news. But before we get into, Scream 7 and all that kind of fun, what do you guys think about Scream 3? Or is this a movie that I feel like the more and more I watch it, the more I come around on it. And, when it was just the 3 movies, it was easy to see that it was the weakest of the 3. But now that we have 6 films and a 7th one coming, how do you guys feel about Scream 3? Do you have your opinions changed? Have you been steadfast in that? What you got,
Brad?
For me, when it came out, I loved it, because I was like 10 or whatever. Like, I can't remember exactly what year it was, but I remember it being the big thing. It came out with the heavy, remember that Creed soundtrack, just epic.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff about it. Yeah, it's great. It definitely, whenever it was just the 3 movies, it could easily be picked as the weakest of the trilogy. But never bad. I never thought this movie was bad, and I still don't. It's one that I still enjoy. I still probably think it's the weakest in the franchise, although it's kind of hard to compare it. It's hard for me to compare it with the last 2 movies, because it's a completely different feel. But I still think it's probably just the least entertaining for me. But I still have a good time with it. I love the voice changing aspect. I know it's a little corny for some people, but I think it's fun and it adds a lot of mystery to it. So I dig it for that. It's probably either 3 or 4 that's the weakest for me overall. It's that era there in the middle that just kind of loses it. They throw in so many new characters, and some of them are fun, but other ones I don't really care about. What about Dewdrop though? Hey Dewdrop, that guy's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where it is for me.
All right. As you can already tell, I do love it because I don't buy many 4K movies of anything. So if I buy a 4K movie of something, it means I somewhat enjoy it, and I do enjoy this. But I will probably say that this one is probably my least favorite in the Scream franchise. But just because you're the least in the Scream franchise, that doesn't mean I don't like you. Because trust me, I absolutely love the Scream franchise. It's like the first real horror franchise I got into on my own. Brad was the one that got me into Friday the 13th and Halloween, and then right after that I was like, Brad, if you're good with it, I'm going to jump into some other franchises and test out the waters myself. And Scream is that first one, and I just love it ever since. But yeah, Scream 3, it's just Gail's hair. I know we mentioned that earlier, but we went from the hottest Gail ever to the worst looking Gail ever. And that's of course David Arquette's fault at the time because he said you should do it. So that's why you never listen to Dewey ever. But even though it's just Dewey was kind of different in this one, it's just they actually played the same trick 3 straight times with the Dewey and Gale character. So I was like, Can we just do something a little different? Of course, Nev Campbell is just always great, no matter what she does as well. And the voice changer thing, I thought it was a good idea, but today's generation, or like the right now, would be the excellent time to do that because we got the AI technology and all that to do those voice recordings. So 2025, you have no excuse anymore. We need to create those things because if Scream 3 did it, what the hell are we doing?
They could do videos now too with the AI stuff. Like you could do full on like videos and of people.
Maybe Stu Mockner.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big reigning theories. I did a stream last Friday and put a poll in the chat, and most people, especially right off the bat, it was like, oh, they think it's going to be AI. You know, that Ghostface is going to, use deep fakes and everything like that. Which actually, it's funny, the voice changer thing in Scream 3 seemed like for a really long time it was like, what the hell is this? And now it was ahead of its time because we live in a world now where that's a relatively easy thing to do. It's Scream 3 is certainly, I saw some people were saying in the chat that it's the funniest one. It definitely has like the most lighthearted comedic edge, Parker Posey, Patrick Warburton, as you were saying, Putty from Seinfeld in there. Plenty of laughs there as well.
It's called Stab. He got stabbed.
Yeah. I mean, you got Carrie Fisher like playing like somebody that was competing with Carrie Fisher in Hollywood. It's like, so she's there, but she's not really playing herself, but she references herself. So it's a whole bunch of silly stuff going on. Jenny McCarthy, she's a barrel of laughs, Oh, she's a barrel of a couple of things, but laughs certainly. I mean, she's like peak hotness in this one. I mean, maybe Singled Out. Oh god, she was so hot in Singled Out, but very, very hot in Scream 3 still. And Herbert here brings up, Sydney hiding, living in the woods, just like Laurie Strode in Halloween 2018. And this movie, the where they shot H2O and shot Scream 3 is the same location. They just dressed it up differently. The what is it, Hillcrest Academy or whatever it's called in H2O?
Yeah.
Is Lance Henriksen's house. I'm failing to remember the character's name right now, so I'm just going to say Lance Henriksen because I know we got Cody Snyder in the house and he's a big Lance fan. So whole bunch of connections there. And Scream 3, it's I want to check in on the poll here. 37 votes, 76% of people say they really enjoy it, which to me is pretty surprising. That 76% of people are saying they really enjoy it, because I still thought that this one was kind of, for most people on the back half of their rankings. I've been pretty open about the way I feel about the Radio Silence guys. I think they're just sort of okay most of the time. Scream 5 and 6 for me are like, they're fine, but I do think that they're the weakest in the series. They just don't feel quite there for me. So I think I've matching with T. Parker, where Scream 3 is sort of like I think it's my least favorite other than the Radio Silence films. Man, Scream 6 had me going for 2/3 of that movie. And then the reveal just ruined it for me, unfortunately.
It did. Yeah. I was really hoping they were going to.
I still love it.
Yeah, I do too. It's a super entertaining movie, but I will say this about Scream 3. The third act is fantastic. Definitely better than that of Scream 2. It's just a lead up to that. I feel like drags for a while. It is probably because I feel like Nev Campbell's just not really that involved until the third act. But once she gets in there and everything kind of kicks off at the house, man, I love everything at that segment.
Yeah.
If the rest of the movie was of that quality, man, it'd be one of the best in the franchise.
Yeah, the third act might be the best in the entire franchise, in my opinion. The third act of Scream 3, possibly, other than the original.
And the opening is great too. Now I hated seeing Cotton get maxed, but it was intense though, with him driving through all the traffic and stuff and getting there, and the introduction of that voice changing technology and playing with his girlfriend or wife or whatever at the beginning. I think it's girlfriend.
What if?
Yeah, just trying to doing the Cotton voice and stuff and all that stuff, so she would open the door. All that stuff was great. It was intense as hell. It was a great way to open it. As much as I hated seeing Cotton die.
Yeah, it is a bummer. I love Cotton's character so much in Scream 2, and so to see him go out at the beginning of the third one, it's like, oh, but at the same time, he's sort of making like they work in the meta joke about it because he's like, you know, complaining to his agent that he's hardly in the script of the new Stab movie, and you know, gets killed right away or whatever. It's like, so it's kind of funny that they work that in there. I wonder if, because I think that's the only time, is that the only time we've ever had like a legacy character get killed in the opening, right? So I wonder.
It's the first one, and another thing too, you gotta keep in mind that Scream has always played this trope. They always said from the very beginning that anybody can get got. So like Randy got in Scream 2. So it wasn't that surprising to me that Cotton got in Scream 3, because again, they wanted to keep you on your toes that anybody can go at any time in this franchise.
Yeah. I wonder. Go ahead, Brad.
He ended pretty strong in Scream 2. Like, he was like, oh man, hell yeah, I can't wait for this guy to come back for 3, because 2 was revealed he was a good guy. And you're excited, right? And he pops off with Scream 3, opens it, and yeah, it sucked, but it was also just very impactful.
Yeah. I mean, he's essentially the hero, you know. Yeah. In Scream 2, it's a really cool redemptive arc there for him. He just wanted to be famous without having to kill people for it. like every single Ghostface, you know. Although I guess not really Roman. Roman wasn't really after fame. He just wanted to make his movie.
Got to sleep with an actress though.
Yeah. Right? Is it
well, it's Maureen Prescott, but that's who he slept with, but technically she was a movie star too.
Now wait.
Well, not Roman. Roman didn't do that.
No, I wasn't talking about Roman. I was talking about Cotton.
Okay.
No, Roman doing that would be very, very awkward.
It would be icky.
No.
It would be some Alabama 11 right there. But.
Scream 7, Alabama 11.
It all comes to, that's why they brought him back. That's to bring it.
That's why they're bringing. There you go. I love it. Yeah. So what do you guys think about you know, all the casting announcements that we've been getting, and maybe even just some of the lack of casting announcements that we've gotten? I mean, we talked a little bit offline before we came on air. Of course, everyone's assuming that Matthew Lillard and Scott Foley are playing Stu Macher and you know, Roman Bridger respectively, but it hasn't been announced yet that that's actually who they're playing. Do you guys think that they're going to be doing some sort of? Do you think they're going to go the AI route? Do you think they're going to go really meta and those actors just play themselves? Like, what are you guys looking for out of Scream 7, and what do you think we're going to get?
Well, I don't think they're playing their characters, just because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, unless they just came back and did the same thing Scream 5 did with the flashback of Billy Loomis, but that's kind of lame if you ask me. I don't think they're going to be playing those, because they're both deader than shit. I think I've never been a proponent of bringing Stu back, because he had his, you know, he got all fucked up. Never, you know, obviously Roman got blown away in the noggin, so he's not coming back either as a character.
Yeah.
So it does intrigue me to see what they're going to do. You know, there's the idea that people have been talking about. We talked about it on their last show, Brett, I think, was the whole new nightmare approach, which, and I think we talked about that a couple of years ago, even as an idea. It's definitely intriguing, I think, if they wanted to go that route. AI videos, I think, makes the most sense. Bringing them back somehow with the use of AI, I think that's the most likely. You know, just like a cameo or whatever, or they could be a big part of the story. I don't know, but I don't think we're going to see like Stu come back and be revealed as the mastermind of everything or anything like that.
Yeah, no cult of Stu.
Plus that's the thing too. Stu has never really been the Ghostface person for me, that he can be a leader and all that. Because we remember he was the lackey of Billy Loomis, who was the mastermind. So I just don't see it's just in Stu's particular character to be like a leader of some sort. So that's why I'm actually quite honest that I want to see the new Nightmare approach, because I feel like that's the last great way you can honor Wes Craven's legacy in Scream. That bring everybody back one last time. So again, you might as well bring David Arquette back if you're just going to do this. And I even made a joke on this on Killer Flicks on somebody's post. Just go ahead and make this the end game of Scream. Just bring everybody back and just go bonkers with it, because you've already already had some controversy with Melissa Barrera and Spike Glass and all that. So this franchise is in a rocky stage. So might as well just go ahead and end this chapter forever. Just go balls to the wall crazy. But I do agree with Jamie, though. I do feel like they have leaked too much with the Matthew Lillard's and the Roman character, Scott Foley, because in my opinion, if they have to do that, that tells me that they're not confident in their film.
Yeah, well, I did want to add one thing to what I said because Chris brought up a good point for movie Misfits. He thinks that they are playing Roman and Stu, and I said they weren't, but I meant like the alive versions of those. Flashback, yeah, that could happen. AI, that could happen, but they're not bringing them back from the dead, so to speak. From I don't think.
Yeah, that would be a little out there. I do like the idea. I think Dean brought it up, earlier, doing, like a video calls to taunt Sydney. So they're doing the deep fake kind of thing just to, really get at her psychologically, because it seems like that's always been Ghostface's game. Do you think that we're gonna get a Ghostface that's a brand new character? I mean, I guess it's probably most likely would be 2 killers, but maybe they'll go back to just the one. But do you think we're going to get one that's a legacy character coming back as Ghostface, somebody that we know previously from the franchise, or do you think it's going to be a brand new character?
See, this is the moment I've been waiting for, man. We've done these Scream predictions for the last 2 movies that came out, Birdie, and I've been saying it every year. Is that
we still need to eat the lemon squares, by the way.
We do, and we got to do another one of those too down the road. But either way, I've always wanted them to go back to one killer, man. Make it a little bit more personal and intimate, and they keep disappointing me. Like, last time was 3 and it's always 2. Now that's the one thing back to Scream 3 a little bit. That's another thing I love about it is making Roman the single killer of that movie just makes it feel a little bit more I don't know, it just makes
fresh.
A little bit more fresh, and I just think it's a little bit more believable. I think it's more likely you're going to get one killer over 2 that are conspiring together and coming up with all these crazy plans. So I kind of like that. And I would love for them to do that. And I've been waiting for an epic reveal of a Ghostface for a while, just something interesting, like you said, Screams, like Davey, the Scream 6 reveal kind of sucked ass when it came out. I was hoping that movie was leading us in a path of something epic, and we got to the end. It's like, oh, it's the best you can do. It kind of sucks. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they can pull something out of a hat and make it really intriguing.
Yeah, I could give you who I think is that surprise sequel, like kind of like a legacy character. I'm actually looking at the kind of like the letterbox list of the actors, and I think I already have confidence with my first pick of who Ghostface might actually be. But for the fantasy booking with the legacy character, I think it would be a cool idea to do Mark Kincaid, Patrick Dempsey as the killer. Again, we are announcing all these big things, but we're not really necessarily talking about him. Just because he's not on the list, that doesn't mean he's not on the list. You know what I mean? Like, it could be like throwing distractions, like somebody to focus on Stu and Scott, for Matthew Lillard and Scott Foley, and then here's just Patrick Dempsey just sitting in the corner, not to be heard. So that's just fantasy booking. But the one I'm looking at here is a guy, because he looks very familiar and he kind of looks psycho. It's an actor named Ethan Embry. Because to me, he has a look of a freaking Ghostface killer.
Yeah, and they haven't announced who he's playing. We only know that Ethan Embry is going to be in the film.
Kind of looks like Stu. Like, right? It could be like Stu's kid or something like that too. But I don't think they're going to go that route.
Or a brother. Maybe we just haven't heard about him before.
Someone saying in the chat that Stu has a sister, which that's true. Yeah. So sister could come into play too. But yeah.
Oh, you have a brother.
Oh yes, I do have a brother. But man, here's my ultimate fantasy booking in any Scream movie ever. I kind of just want Ghostface to win one for a fucking change.
Oh, dude, that's what I've been saying too, man.
Like a two-parter.
Scream 6, we were going to get it, and with Scream 7 with Melissa Barrera and Tara, or with Jenna Ortega, they were going to overcome, kind of like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi kind of thing. That was their moment to do it, and of course, the third act.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been clamoring for, man. Have a Ghostface last more than one movie. They've never done it.
Yeah.
They've always been one and dones, man. So that would add so much more intrigue to a sequel, because every time the new movie comes out, we're sitting here and we're like, oh, who's the killer going to be this time? And all it's like, dude, just let one live. Maybe not even know who it is in the first movie and then figure it out later. Like, that would be cool, man.
It's always great that we know that they don't know. And it makes us more anxious for our characters on TV or on the screen that we love and appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jamie brings up a good point here. Ethan Embry was one of the killers in Vacancy. That movie's friggin'. That movie's legit. That movie freaked the hell out of me. Yeah. And T. Parker's like, I don't want any more family members of previous killers. I totally hear you. I do think that, maybe that is a little too much. I'm curious to know, though, if it's going to be a character that we either have seen in a previous movie or has been mentioned in a previous movie, even if it's not, one of the, a family member of a previous, previous killer there. What's happening, Killjoy Jake? Scream 3 rocks. I don't give a fuck. That's right. I'm right there with you, man. I've really come around on this one. And I do think, like, maybe the first few times, like, again, when it was just the 3 movies, because there was that huge break between Scream 3 and Scream 4, Roman just seemed to sort of fall flat for me at some point. But then the more recently, like when I've watched it over the last few years, I do really love that, just the tension and the dynamic between him and Sidney in that final act, especially like as he's sitting there. He's sort of in the death throes there, and they're holding hands, and he gives this look up at her, and he just sort of has, it's almost, and I know it's before he gets shot in the head, of course, but he sort of has this look of realization of like, oh, I could have, like, I chose one path of trying to kill this person because I thought I didn't have a family, but maybe I could have had something with this person if I reached out to her. And it's all not said. It's all like, I kind of like when movies don't really give you everything and they let the audience like come to some conclusion of their own. I think that's like a really important thing about art that we're kind of losing lately, is like the audience should have to do some thinking for themselves. And once a piece of art is put out there, it's everyone's. It doesn't just belong to the creators. And I kind of like those understated moments. So that's been one of those things with Scream 3 where I've just been, every time I watch it, it just seems so much more impactful, that final act, for sure.
Yeah, and just back to the idea, I forgot who mentioned it, talking about Stu's sister. I'm looking at the cast here. Could it be, if there is a Stu sister out there and if she wants to make herself known on screen, could it be like a Anna Camp or a McKenna Grace? Because I could see them playing that particular character, possibly. Yeah,
I think Anna Camp's a little bit older, right, than McKenna Grace. So that could make sense.
That's true. That's true. But I'm excited for Anna Camp, just in case if y'all don't know who that is, Pitch Perfect. And then, of course, McKenna Grace, she played the littlest daughter in the new Ghostbusters franchise.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I've not seen those new Ghostbusters movies.
Yeah, the one with the glasses and everything. Yeah, that's her.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, which you could have fooled me because they made her look like the dorkiest girl in Ghostbusters. And then now I'm just looking at a picture right here, and she's just absolutely gorgeous. Like, well,
and there is that odd time, right, in someone's life where it's like the difference of 4 years. They can look way more mature after.
Well, it's
you know
just
what I mean?
And everything, and just like getting in the character and all that. That's all it was. And then just when it's off camera, she just looks gorgeous. But
yeah, Dean's got I really like the cliffhanger idea. Dean saying they could stick to the formula at the end, kill off Ghostface, and then throw a spin on the ending, have another Ghostface pop out. I mean, if it is a duo or a trio or whatever, you could have that moment where the end of the movie is Sidney getting another phone call, and the movie ends on like a surprise Sidney Ghostface voice.
I'll raise you one on that one. This is like fancy booking for me to ending with that idea is that Sidney is calling Gail, and then Gail gets a surprise attack by Ghostface, and Sidney's on the phone having to listen to it. And then she's like, Gail? And then Ghostface picks up the phone and goes, hello, Sidney. Black screen. To be continued.
Yeah, I think
we talked about that a while ago too, man.
I'm telling you, dude, that's what I want. That's what everybody secretly wants.
Yeah.
Well, and
Let
like
Ghostface win.
it's one of those things too that I've mentioned. I think it's like the best thing for Scream. Like if they're gonna do a Scream 8, the best kind of advertising you can have is do a cliffhanger. Don't let us know who Ghostface is, or don't let us know who both Ghostfaces are, or all the Ghostfaces are, because you know, guys like Killjoy Jake will be out there doing all the advertising for you. Like you guys will be doing the theory videos. I'll be doing a little bit of that as well. Sister Pam will be talking about it. You'll get 2 years of free advertising. It would be amazing,
same with,
right?
Barry too for Wolfman Scott Nards. He
yeah,
the Scream franchise too.
Absolutely, yeah. It would. I've drummed. I mean, it's countless. Like the amount of free advertising you could get that would just, you know, make sure that the next movie was a success as well. And I mean, I'm hoping it is. I'm really excited that Kevin Williamson's coming back to the director's chair. I don't think he's done a movie since Teaching Mrs. Tingle. And you know, I've heard that this one is setting up to be pretty damn brutal. What's happening in that horror couple? How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Yeah, that's Robbie right there. I could just tell by his language right there.
Yeah.
Like
Love you, Robbie. Thank you so much for jumping on in, man.
100%, dude. Always good to see you. That's one thing that excites me, though, is the Kevin Williamson direction. You know, seeing him direct his first Scream movie. He's somebody who you know, helped Wes Craven create this franchise, man. So it's kind of cool to see. You know, it's in good hands. Like, I don't think it's going to be a situation, a drop in quality or anything, because this guy lives and breathes Scream. I mean, it kind of, you know, he made a hell of a career off of it. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. And the writers, I mean, they're good. There's Guy Busick and James Vanderbilt, both very solid, both good track records. So excited to see what they're going to come up with, man.
And Kevin Williamson kind of needs a W on this one, because the last movie I ever saw of his was, or produced, was a movie called Sick. That was released a couple of years ago, and that one was just okay. So Kevin Williamson,
decent.
Yeah, it was decent at best, but he just really needs, like, you know, a freaking grand slam, and this could be his rightfully grand slam.
Yeah, I think that, like, one of the big things, and it's just sort of like a feeling I have, is not only did Nev come back because they were willing to, you know, give her a decent paycheck this time around. I would not be surprised if we find out down the road that, like, one of her must-haves was Williamson coming in to direct. Like, I would not be surprised if when she sat down with Spyglass, she's like, all right, yeah, you're going to pay me that money, and here's the other thing that I want, or I'm not coming back. I want Kevin to direct this movie, because it sounds like they've been talking about him directing a movie since early on in the franchise. And I think that even with the writers, I believe at least Guy Busick worked on the last two movies. I'm not sure about the other writer, but I would imagine that even if Williamson doesn't put his name on the as a writing credit, he's got to be going through that script and making sure everything matches up with, like, his vision. You know, sure. That's something that I would imagine is a must for him. So that gives me a lot of hope as well, that that we're going to get something that's a little bit of a return to form, which I think we need after Scream 5 and 6. Again, I don't think they're bad movies. I want something that feels a little bit more like the first four films.
Like Scream. Yeah.
Go ahead, Brett. What were you saying?
Sorry. I didn't want to interrupt Brad. But,
no, you're all good, guys.
No, it's just here's another thing. Just like a hidden wish for Scream 7. And I know, like, a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me on this, but I hope just Scream 7 just kind of at just the same time kind of just respects Scream 6, because I know that the Meek, the twin brother and sister of Mindy and Chad are indeed in this movie. I just don't want them to do, like, you know, like a Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and kill off those people from a Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Sure, yeah.
And just, you know, I just want to keep it respectful, because if they do something like that, just to me, that's petty of them, and they don't need to do that.
Yeah, that would be I think that would be a bit odd. Maybe one of them doesn't make it. But I feel like you gotta,
okay, as long as they write it good enough for it to make sense, and if it's rightfully earned. Just don't force it. You know what I mean? That's my only little concern.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that, you know, even after things calm down a little bit, I can totally see Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega coming back to the franchise. Like, that stuff happens all the time. You know, the film rights change hands and actors and actresses come back. You know, like T. Parker's saying here, you know, he wants one focusing on Sydney Scream 7 through 9, and who knows, like at some point in there we could have those characters return, or maybe after. I mean, it seems like a really healthy franchise.
That's the thing. We got to tackle the mother of the
Sure.
Carpenter sisters, because she plays an important factor in that story, and that's the story that we have to tell, in my opinion. I bet you Scream 7 was going to do that, and then, of course, Spyglass fucked it all up.
Yeah, I've heard. I mean, even, you know, speaking of Sister Pam, she's been talking about seeing you know, a flashback scene where Christina Carpenter is, you know, there the night that Maureen dies. Ooh. Maybe she's not like on the scene, but she's, you know, we see a little bit of interaction there, which I don't know. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to poo-poo on anyone's theory. I've never been a big like prequel kind of guy. I don't know if we necessarily need to see Maureen Prescott's death because we've known about it since 1996. So like seeing it, to me would be like an even bigger retcon than Roman Bridger in Scream 3 saying that he was the one that like orchestrated everything and put Billy up to everything. You know, I just think it would be at that point, then you're like, oh no, what are they going to take back in the next movie? You know, like, is this just going to be what they do from now on? They're just going to retcon the way we felt about the older movies. So a little bit of danger there, but yeah, I'm curious to know what's up with Sam and Tara's mom, because we've only heard about her. We don't really know much about her, other than she was fast and loose in high school.
And that she was really pissed off with Sam Carpenter after the offense of Scream 5.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because they were even Sam said that they were not on talking terms.
Oh, in Scream 6?
Yes.
Yeah. It'd be cool to tackle that story aspect, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely potential there to tap into it. I mean, I don't know, man. It would be kind of cool to kind of tie it more into the original trilogy, though, and kind of just focus it a little bit more on. Not saying they have to do anything crazy, but just kind of, I don't know, focus it on Sydney and stuff. I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Cody, it always leads back to freaking Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, yeah.
It always leads back to Twin Peaks.
What about Sydney's dad? Do you think? Because I remember hearing, like, I think in one of the original scripts for Scream 3, I think he was supposed to be a killer at some point, and we haven't seen him. I don't think we've seen him since then, have we?
You got to remember, he is a drug dealer, and he did told Sydney to flush his stash if the cops asked for anything.
What is that from Scary Movie or something?
Oh shit, that is from Scary Movie. Sorry.
Okay.
I get the two.
I don't even know.
Up. I'm sorry. I get the two movies switched up. So
I'm a Scary Movie hater. So I don't.
Come on.
Yeah.
Even the first one?
No.
Yeah, I would say the second one was probably the one that made me laugh the most, like the haunted house one. Yeah, I mean, guys, I grew up with the Naked Gun and Airplane and Hot Shots and like UHF, and by the time Scary Movie, I just felt like the jokes were really like, and I don't dislike certain amount of bathroom humor, but I felt like that was their bread and butter, instead of just being instead of working those jokes in a sly manner. But I know everyone's pumped about Scary Movie coming back, so.
That's probably my first like spoof that I ever saw, and I tell you, I did actually get the two confused a lot as a kid, Scream and Scary Movie. Like, you know,
because they were
watching. Yeah,
they're running congruently.
Yeah. I remember watching Scream. I was like, where's that chick in the bathroom that gets killed and like, you know, wants to be in the next movie or whatever? Like, I thought that was in this movie, and then I was like, oh no, that was Scary Movie. It's cool.
Oh, Ash just said my all-time favorite quote: "We hit a boot. Where's the foot? Not where's the foot?"
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Ashton throwing it out there. Yeah.
Oh my god. But I'm just saying, but I know it was a joke though. But for Sidney Prescott's dad, I believe they did not say in Scream 5 that he passed away. Or was
I can't remember.
No, it was Scream 4. I think that's what I think Scream 4 is.
Oh, okay.
According to just like the Scream timeline and all that, it was between 3 and 4 that Sydney's dad passed away, and that's when she kind of went into more exile and wrote the book. And then that's when she came back for Scream 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, chat, let us know.
Familiar. Oh, T.
So-
Parker said that it was a deleted scene, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know what? That's where I heard. That's where I heard it from.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so Neil could still be out there.
Yeah, it could happen.
I don't know why he would want to kill his daughter. That's the thing, is everyone's like, oh, one of Sydney's kids is going to be Ghostface. And it's like, why would they want to kill their mom? I don't know.
Maybe they just want to kill Mark. Maybe Mark's the target here. Maybe
Mark's
doesn't like
Ghostface.
Mark very much. Yeah, Mark could definitely be like bookending it with the first movie, the boyfriend, now the husband being the killer. It could definitely be an option. Could definitely
never trust the love interest. Isn't that what Dewey says in Scream 5?
That's true.
Yeah.
And Joel McHale just has that look where I'm just like, I don't trust this fucker.
And plus, here's the deal, too.
100%.
Mark Kincaid, he's an officer, right?
Yeah.
He's got enemies. Keep that in mind.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think that even if, I know that T. Parker was saying he doesn't want any relatives of Ghostfaces or anything like that. There could be a situation where, we think that one of these characters, a character's using a fake name. Like, that's something that could definitely come into play as well. Where we think that somebody is, we don't know someone's true history, one of the characters. So, and, Scream 5 sort of mirrors the first film. Scream 6 mirrors the second film. And then I'm like, so maybe Scream 7, like you were saying, Brad, going back to that singular killer, like Scream 7 could sort of mirror the third film in that way. And I think that's one of the reasons why I think they might go back to the whole meta thing as an ode to, to Wes and to bring it back. I really do want that cliffhanger ending. I can't get away from that.
Dude, that's what would freaking make it for me, man. Like that's like do the Bond thing. Like, we always come in and start from scratch every one of these movies. Let's get a plan for 2-3 movies and write out a story that makes sense over a 3-movie period or whatever, including a killer that survives, and that would change this franchise. That would turn it up on its head, and it'd be pretty groundbreaking. So I mean, that's what I want, man. That's what I want.
Especially because people talk like one of the biggest gripes people have about the franchise, even if they love it, or especially the folks that aren't too into it, is that it does just feel rinse and repeat every single time. So it's one of the only ways they can break new ground in the franchise is to not give us a full reveal at the end. Don't give us the full Nosferatu dong. Dude, hangs dong.
Yeah, I mean, it's just break away from the formula, man. I feel like everybody who does a Scream movie now just thinks that you have to do it this one way, but innovate it, man. Make it different, make it stand out.
Yeah.
Give it that Daniel Craig era of the Bond films and make it just run together and make it be the highlight of the franchise now. You could do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
a little more episodic, a little more connected. Yeah. Absolutely. We got Leanna Bevy Rage in the house. How are you doing, Leanna? Great to see you. Oh, yeah. Well, shoot. We've been talking, Scream for about 45 minutes or so. I don't know. You guys got anything else? Any other, is there something we're missing for celebrating 25 years of Scream 3? We covered Creed. We covered Parker Posey, Patrick Warburton. I don't know. Am I missing anything? Let me know in the chat too, guys.
I know Chris Snyder said it a long time ago, but the cameo of oh my God, why did that name
Roger Corman?
No. Yes, Roger Corman is in the film. I discovered that during my memoriam studies, and then I remembered that scene. Carrie Fisher, the late great Carrie Fisher, as I thought that whole scene was great.
That scene's hilarious, and it's great to get her back in there. We do get a little Randy action in there as well. What's the guy's name? Chris, if you're still in the chat, let me know, or maybe Cody, throw it in there. You had brought it up yesterday during Pat's stream. The guy that played that did like Raphael's voice in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is Kincaid's partner. I can't remember that guy's name.
The one that says that it's called Stab. He was stabbed.
Yeah, and that's just, to me, that's sort of mind-blowing. I'm like, wow, like I don't know. I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Love Raphael. I just such a dark badass. And it's just one of those crazy connections where it's like sometimes the crazy thing about like voice actors sometimes, or people that can lend their voice to characters like that, is you look at them and you're like, that's the guy that did the voice. Mm-hmm. Josh Pais. Hopefully I'm saying his name the right way. But I was like, oh wow, this like this small guy, relatively small guy, small Jewish guy, puts together this amazing Raphael voice that sounds like he comes from the toughest neighborhood of all time. Andy Feldman did Donatello, I believe. Did Donatello's voice, if I remember correctly.
Donatello.
Oh man, nothing beats my boy Michelangelo.
Oh, Michelangelo's great.
Just the charisma of the team.
Yeah, I want, they talk about like, you can do personality tests like with the Marx Brothers or the Three Stooges. I think you can do it with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Can you do it with Ghostface Killers? Can you do personality tests with Ghostface Killers? Like, are you a Billy or a Stu? Or are you a are you a Mickey? Like, you'll go Stu?
I probably would be, just because I like to make a lot of freaking stupid jokes and puns and everything.
Yeah, Stu's got that Jim Carrey energy.
Oh, for sure.
I guess that's
as hell, man.
I guess that's just kind of natural.
Just give me a chance.
Yeah, I went. Who is there anyone that we know that's a Roman Bridger? I don't know. Are we all Roman Bridgers because we're content creators? What does that?
Yeah,
say
we're all just trying.
About us?
We're all just trying to make our movies, man.
Right,
we're all just trying to make.
No, I'm serious. Brad is a director in our skits, so he always has the vision. He always has the plan, and Roman always has the vision, and he has the plan.
That's true, man. You never know what I do in my off time either. Things could be crazy.
Well, you killed me a birthday party. You killed me plenty enough times in skits, so
throw me a birthday party. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what
happens.
Hey! 1 month. Don't give me any ideas now.
I know that's right.
Herbert brings up the Weinsteins. Yeah, I think that's something we can talk about with Scream 3, is that it's low key ripping on the guys that produced the movie. Like, it's almost like it's sort of like talking about the thing that's in plain sight that wasn't being talked about. A big part of that plot is the way that Milton was kind of running his business, and using the young women that were coming out to Hollywood to make a career for themselves, and just putting it right under the Weinstein's nose as they're paying for the movie to be made. That's which is pretty punk rock right there.
It is, and it's weird to watch now, like going back and seeing it, like knowing that was the case at the time. It's very. I love the fact that they got that in there, though. I mean, it makes perfect sense now when you go back and watch it now after everything came out.
Yeah, it is wild.
You know who we forgot to talk about in Scream 3? Because at one point she played an important factor in the movie until the final cuts, and they decided to cut everything out on her. Remember Angelina?
Yeah. Angelina was
going to be one of the killers.
Case number 2. Yeah.
Which I'm glad they cut that too, man. Because again, it makes Scream 3 stand out. But that's true, and you can see the how that could have worked easily. Several times in the movie where she's being kind of sketchy and shit in the bathroom with the boots on and all that.
The freaking bathroom.
I just wanted to keep a souvenir from the shoot.
Yeah, likely story. I don't think I've ever seen that actress in any. What else has she been in? She's, I will say this: watching it yesterday, I was like, man, she's really cute, but she's really not in the movie very much either. What has she been in, Brett?
I got some nominal hits right here. I'm going to save the last one for Brad in particular. She was in Notting Hill, Cars 2, Match Point, Mary Poppins Returns, Hugo. Brad, you ready for this one?
So she's a voice actor.
Shutter Island.
She wasn't Shutter Island. She was that creepy. The one. Was she the one that? Wait, was she the actual the chick that they were looking for in that movie?
Actually, be careful, because I have not seen that movie, so be careful. Even though I already know what happens. Brad, all I can tell you from
Letterboxd,
it is Rachel 1.
Okay.
must be
okay.
because
But no, I have
he
not
interviews
seen
a whole
it, but
bunch of the
movie got
people.
spoiled for me.
Oh no,
Oh,
the movie
no.
doesn't get spoiled. That yeah, you're good.
It did
You're
for
fine.
me, so I know what happens. But
No, it's not going to be spoiled. Like you're good. Like you
I
need to
mean,
watch it though.
okay,
Yeah,
I'll write it on
that
the list.
movie's that movie is an absolute, like, it's Scorsese doing a Hitchcock film. Like, if you like Hitchcock, you will
Sold.
love Shutter Island, because to me, that's what I get from watching Shutter Island. Is this is Hitchcock. And actually, my brother Matt, like, that was one of his first really big gigs, working as a 3D matte painter. So he would have to, like, send in his. He was living out in LA at the time, and he did all those shots where they're like on the cliffs. With the lighthouse and everything, he painted all those cliffs and all that kind of stuff. And that was, man, seeing that movie in the theater, not only super proud of my brother, but also sitting there thinking like, wow, I'm watching something that's downright Hitchcockian here, you know?
Oh, it's so good. And it requires and demands multiple viewings. Even if you know what
Yeah.
happens, you don't really know
Mhm.
what happens. It's one of those movies that just is, you know, it's ambiguous in a lot of ways. It is oh man, it's a mind fuck, dude. I love it.
Oh, and Brad, actually, you know how in May I like to do my 14 watches of new horror movies? I kind of consider Shutter Island towards that close to horror too, even though it's mainly thriller. Make that one of your suggestions.
It's definitely scary as hell, though. It has some scenes that are scary as hell.
Make it your suggestion.
Sure.
That's all I'm telling you. Just let that be your suggestion.
Well, okay, it'll happen. Don't let me forget. Just go ahead and pencil it in.
Anything but One-Eye Monster, Chad.
Well, we're not doing that shit.
Oh my goodness.
Damn you.
Do I even want to know?
No, you
I don't.
Just
Don't
move
watch
on.
that movie.
Just pretend I didn't say anything. We don't want to get
Oh.
Chad any ideas. So if Chad signs up as a YouTube member and suggests something to you, just ignore him.
Yeah, just ignore it altogether.
Just ignore it. But no, we love Chad. We love him very much.
Oh yeah, love Chad. Chud's Corner.
Just not his suggestions. But...
I used to love Chad.
Oh, I'm telling on you.
Until that movie came out or became a thing.
So what
Hey,
do you guys, I know you guys. Go ahead, Brad.
Well, just real quick, Mason Gooding said 22 hours ago that Ghostface is the most brutal he's been in Scream 7. So that's just a little nugget, probably just some marketing verbiage, but you know, maybe we'll get a brutal ass Ghostface. Who knows?
I hate when they make claims like that. It's like, this is the most brutal Ghostface ever. So now we all got these high expectations, and sometimes they'll just disappoint us.
Yeah, it's one of those things you got to take with a grain of salt. Somebody's going to say it every movie, but you know, it's I'm
Hopefully
here for
they
it.
get a little more creative with the kills. You know, I think that's something that the Scream franchise could use a little refresher on. You know,
100%. Yeah,
just some more creative kills.
Just nothing too over the top, though. Like, just keep it like
Yeah.
your Scream normal kills, but just find creative ways to do it.
Well, I think, you know, Kevin Williamson based the original story. He was inspired by the story of the Gainesville Ripper, who I think murdered like 5 college students back in the early 90s. And,
in Florida,
you know,
right?
yeah, University of Florida in Gainesville. And the Gainesville Ripper would display the bodies in certain ways that when the police entered the scene, it was sort of like a taunt, you know, and like maybe that's what they're talking about when they talk about Ghostface being brutal. Maybe we'll see a Ghostface that does a little bit of that. I don't want to say Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers like display, but something kind of creative that really sort of shocks us. Because I think even in Scream 5, when Kyle Gallner gets stabbed in the neck, that was like the most uninspired kill I've ever seen. For a character that I thought should have lived longer in the movie and been a red herring. And I was like, what the hell's that? Like, what is this? The knife just is like, oh, it's like a butter in the neck and out. And I'm just like, oh. Like, come on, guys. We can be,
even though
be
the
more
daylight
creative than that.
the daylight scenes in Scream 5 with those kills were really damn good. But I still kind of give it to Charlie as the most aggressive Ghostface with the kills from Scream 4.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like that was a really cool thing. Not only did Wes get to sort of reinvent the slasher subgenre when he did the original Scream, but when they did Scream 4, I felt like he sort of revitalized the franchise itself by making it a lot more aggressive and bloody than it had been before.
Especially in the lighting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the soft light. Which apparently aren't they? I heard that they're going to be releasing a version of the film where they take that out.
Yeah, I think it's
Have you
going to
heard
be
about
the
that?
next 4K version, possibly. I think that's where I heard it from.
So it'll be cool to see. To me, it's like I just sort of like let it go. It's not the whole movie that looks like that. I'm just sort of like whatever. But it would be interesting to see how people's opinion change. Who, if that's a big, block for them enjoying the film for sure.
Right.
Yeah, Dean, use some more weapons. I liked in Scream 6 the shotgun thing in the bodega. I thought that was like pretty creative, and it wasn't something that Ghostface like leaned on. Maybe a little bit of a giveaway as to who it was too. So it sort of lets you know that it's somebody that's used to using tactical weaponry like that.
Well, now, Jamie, we've already gotten that already, and just to go ahead and throw a double in there, that was Matthew Lillard that was in charge of the flamethrower.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
that's right.
Great point, actually. Do we want to change up the mask a little bit?
Yeah, I saw. Who was it? Aaron, was it you that said earlier that you don't want the aged look? What do you think of that Halloween 2018 aged look they had in Scream 6?
Oh, I personally loved it just because it was something different and something that made sense within the story that they were telling. Just getting that old mask back. But I would love to see like a chrome face one, kind of like what Matthew Lillard was wearing in Scream 5. Or I would love to actually have if I don't have it near me, but I would love to have a devil, like the red devil one or something like that. Just do something different with it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to them doing something different with it. Nothing too crazy like they did in the TV series, but I like the age look. I thought that was really cool. Made the movie kind of stand out. It's cool for them to have the same continuity throughout, like unlike other franchises where it changes like every movie, like Halloween and Friday.
Oh my God.
But I mean, at this point, it could usher in a new era. I'm not opposed for it at all.
Yeah. I liked the aged look. I do think that it was almost like kind of misused because I thought that they were going to have it tie back into Stu or Billy in a bigger way.
Yeah.
So when they did the aged look, I was just sort of like, oh, it's a really cool look. Maybe if you are going to bring one of the older killers back or something like that, you would use it as sort of like an indicator as to who it was. But I think Halloween 2018 just sort of like gave a lot of people a lot of good ideas, to play around with.
Totally.
Nothing wrong with that.
We got Cody Snyder gifted a Davey Deathray channel membership to RC Colorado.
Nice.
Welcome to channel membership, RC. I don't know, RC. I don't know if they've been in the chat before, but welcome to channel membership. Maybe you'll pop on in and hang out. Mandela effect. Sorry about that, Aaron. I know somebody said that. But it seems like a lot of people really like the aged mask. Must have been Reese. Reese likes the clean look. I like them all. I'm down for whatever at this point. I did like that aged look, but what can you do?
Mm-hmm. But
I think they exist, Cody. I just don't think that the RC Colorado, I think it's just that you have to, maybe he's a subscriber or they're a subscriber and they've been in on the streams before. But it would be cool if it gave like preference to the people that were actually in the chat. That would be helpful. But maybe YouTube also thinks they might encourage somebody to give your channel another shot.
Yeah.
There you go. So what do you guys, you guys have the awards show coming up here. Do you guys is there any, I know it's a whole albatross, putting everything like that together. Is there any like new, I know you guys have been doing, it's Beers with the Bros?
Yeah. That's Brad's project that he wanted to bring to the table because we wanted to do more sports talk, but we didn't want to bring it to the horror channel. So we created our own channel, but I'll let Brad get more into that.
Yeah, we started at the beginning of football season. We've been doing pretty much an episode a week throughout most of the season, and obviously wrapping things up. Super Bowl this week. We'll tackle that next week, however it turns out. So that'll be fun. We talk some movies and stuff on there as well too. It's just kind of a channel where we can talk about whatever and not be confined to just horror as well. So it's kind of got that that vibe to it.
And we play games as well. So if you love playing games, you definitely want to check it out too.
Oh, I want to play a game, Birdie boy.
I want to play a game. But yeah, so yeah, we got beers with the bros, and in March we got one of our other big time things we do once a year too, which that is Brad's baby.
Yeah, the March
That he
Madness
created.
tournament. Yeah, we do a big tournament every year in March. We actually do 4 tournaments a year, but the March Madness is the one that started that whole trend, and that's usually the biggest one we do. So that's always a fun time. That's always a really good show. A lot of fun to kind of set up and put together. And yeah, looking forward to kind of announcing more about that after the Real Horror Awards comes out.
Mm-hmm. And we
Sweet.
got the topic, but we're not ready to say it yet. Whenever Brad says say it, that's when we'll say it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you guys do like some really fun brackets on the channel. You know, you did like your action movie, like massive brackets. They're so big that they don't even fit on the screen. You have to like go to like one little corner of the bracket.
You
You
wanna
gotta
know a
zoom in,
little-
man.
You want to know a did you know real quick, Davey, about those brackets? I had to create each and individual, like the white stick, to create all 64 of those matchups, or like all those matchups. I had to literally do it on Canva, little bit by little bit. It's like building a damn Lego set.
Yeah, that's true. They
You
go
physic-
together like Legos, man.
You physically build them?
Well, I
you
didn't
taught- you-
physical. It's just I had cramp in my hand. I had to do the mouse and everything, and just add it in and just
Yeah.
perfectly place it and everything. So, but hey, the good news is you only have to do it once, because it's now copy and paste from here on out. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Hell yeah. And then do you guys have anything else? I mean, yeah, you know, with the awards show, do you have any other projects you're working on here coming up? I mean, I guess you've already kind of said a couple.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the
Well,
same question again for no reason.
another one I can say, I'm not going to say what the franchise is, but we are in talks and planning about we do at least like one big like one franchise watch party a year, make it a series out of that. Davey, you know about it because you came on for the Nightmare on Elm Street, so we're bringing that back again, and it's actually coming this time. It's coming a little earlier than you think. We're hoping to start it around April, but I'm not ready to reveal the franchise just yet. Some of you, if you follow Instagram and the stories, you might know what it is, but if you don't, you have to stay around on our channel to find out.
That's
right. Oh yeah. Yeah, those are really fun. I love doing a watch party and having a guest on. Like that's a cool idea that you guys do, especially, you know, you guys, you know, it's so awesome at bringing other people on the channel and having them participate in that kind of stuff. And that was a total blast. Yeah. What are you guys looking forward to as far as horror films? I know you guys are, you know, fans of film in general. So I guess I'll just open it up. Let's just open up the whole thing. Horror movies you're looking forward to for the rest of the year, but maybe also some that may not be within the genre that you're looking forward to in 2025 here.
What did we talk about? We did a list actually a couple weeks ago. Most anticipated movies of 2025. Obviously, I think what was my number one? I can't even remember. It's been a couple weeks, and there's been a lot of fun stuff. I'm stoked for the monkey or whatever it's called from Osgood Perkins, man. I'm stoked for that. Everything I'm seeing on that looks great. Companion was one I was looking forward to. I saw that. I really enjoyed it.
When did you go see that?
I think it was Saturday. That
oh
movie
damn,
was awesome.
You didn't tell me that, you tease. Like, what the hell? You leaving me in the dark here, dude. I'm your partner.
Yeah.
I'm your co-host. Let me know these things.
I know, dude. That was a good flick. That was awesome. Monkey, I'm looking forward to. That's it. 28 years later is a big one. And then my most anticipated movie is Mission Impossible, the last chapter of that, because I love that franchise. But yeah, that's just kind of some things I'm really stoked about for this year.
Hell yeah.
All right.
What do you got, Brett?
What do I got here? Well, first off, if we're doing non-horror movies real quick, it's Ballerina, the character in the John Wick series with Arna de Armas. That's one of my most highly anticipated movies. As you saw from the trailer yesterday, I'm stoked for the Fantastic Four. I think they're going to finally some studio is actually going to treat them seriously and knock it out of the park. And what better way than the MCU to do it? So I think they're going to very well succeed in that. But the horror movies, I agree with Brad. Monkey, I've been hearing excellent things about. And plus, AMC kind of revealed their new popcorn bucket today on the Monkey. And I will be sneaking into my AMC theater just to get the bucket. And then I'll go to Regal to go watch the movie. That's kind of how pity I am for AMC. And then what next week comes out that I'm interested in is a movie called The Gorge. That's on Apple TV.
Oh, yeah.
With Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Turner. So I think that movie is going to be a lot of fun. And someone said 28 years later. And the one I'll definitely add now, because the trailer impressed me, Final Destination Bloodlines. I think it was a very creative teaser they did. And this is wishful thinking. I wish that was it. They don't do anymore. But come on, it's Hollywood. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, they'll do another trailer in like a month.
That's what I meant. They're going to do another trailer. Like, they're going to do it. But
that's all you really... That's all you really need is that one kill, and we don't even see how it could even get crazier from what they show there in that trailer.
Megan 2.0 too, because I love that teaser as well. I thought they nailed the teaser in that. And the one movie, if I could just tell everybody, which I hate to say, hey, don't support this movie, but I'm kind of on the lines, I don't care about this one. Until Dawn, like, I'm not sure if y'all are the fan of the games or whatever, or like the game of Until Dawn, but what they're doing with this movie, it's a crime to the video game. So,
yeah, I mean, I've not played that video game, but it sounds like it would be really tough to do an adaptation of the way the game is. I mean, not
really. Like, just do exactly what the game did. That's all. That if it just let us be surprised at the theater at the certain direction, at the certain choices that were made. Like, we don't know we kind of know what the end results of the choices are, but it would be fun to us not to know, and the people who made the movie make those choices. But just the way how they did with that, and the director saying, "Oh, I'm a fan of Until Dawn," and then you do nothing to represent Until Dawn in the movie. So I just don't know what they're doing.
It's video game movies have always had that struggle of, I mean, how many video game movies actually represent, what the game is? It's such a rarity. It's they made all those Resident Evil movies and none of them follow the plot of any of the games. They just have a couple of the characters, but they don't follow any of the stories. It's so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's something that really doesn't ever work out. It's just, games are so long and vast, and, you're talking at least like a 10-hour story for probably even Until Dawn, something as simple as that, and you're putting it into a movie. It's
looks like I'm being too hateful on it, according to the chat, so damn.
Hey man, that's the fun thing, is it's just art, so we just get we get to have our opinions. And then it's a wait and see kind of thing. Like maybe when you see the movie, it'll be a little bit of a different experience than what you thought.
Here's the deal: if you take Until Dawn out of the name and call it something else, I think it's a terrific idea for a horror movie, and I could have gone a lot more on board with it. It's just when you use the name, kind of like a little Black Christmas movie did back in 2019. I just say when they take a name of a popular thing, do your own thing, and kind of damage the name that you're borrowing up. That's my worry.
No, I hear you. That's why I'm a huge Resident Evil 4 fan. I'm like, can we just get a movie that's the plot of that game? That would make an amazing movie.
You're excited about that announcement.
I must have missed an announcement.
Oh,
I must have missed. What did I miss?
Well, chat, somebody help me. A certain director that we all know is going to be assigned to tackling on the new series of Resident Evil movies. So please in the chat, let me know who the director is. I'm just blanking on that name.
It's not Fede Alvarez, is it?
No, it's not Fede Alvarez.
That would be amazing.
That would even be. Oh, the Barbarian director. Thank you, T. Parker. So the Barbarian director is tackling on the Resident Evil, and I think that could be a good match.
Yeah, I'm still butthurt that Romero didn't get to do his movie. And I know they put out that documentary about it. I haven't seen the doc yet. But that was one of those things where I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, Zach
Greger. All right. Well, shoot, we got some exciting stuff coming up. I noticed neither of you guys said Thanksgiving too, so my feelings are hurt a little bit. That's my most anticipated.
I'll be excited when it comes time to it. So
I feel like I'm the one person that's like, oh my god, Thanksgiving. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like the best the best original slasher I've seen since the first Scream movie. You know, that's where I'm at with Thanksgiving.
Fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the sequel is.
Kreger, what do we got? Resident Evil 4 movie would be great. I'm in the middle of playing Village. I need to play some of those later games in the franchise. I keep on playing. I'm playing the remake of Resident Evil 4 for like the 4th or 5th time right now.
Dude, I just played that a few months ago. Yeah, a few months ago. It's awesome, man. It's it's such a long game too, but it's got so many great moments in it.
Man, and I loved how they handled the remake because they really did shake it up enough where it still hits some of those beats, but you know, it does feel like something different at the same time. I really dug that. I never played
the original at RE4. I tried it once whenever they they dropped it. You could get it on Xbox or whatever, but the controls were so wonky, I just didn't even play it. But the remake I had a good time with.
Yeah. Yeah, the remake's amazing. What's happening, Matt? Welcome on in. Yeah, Toxic Avenger. Are you guys looking forward to that one? That's got some big names in it.
No knowledge about that movie, so I'm going to have to watch the original movie before I go see that in theaters.
Oh, you're going to have a real fun time. Dude, those trauma movies are something else. Speaking of Roger Corman from Scream 3, the trauma movies make his movies look totally legit. But there's something fun about how bad they are. You know what I mean? Like, they know exactly what they are. Like, when you watch a trauma movie, you're not looking for anything, that's high art.
Okay, so I apologize for 2 movies I forgot to mention. Predator Borderlands. Yeah, throw balloons out there. The new Predator movie that's going back out in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm super excited for that. And then just the one that kind of just makes me chuckle here. Freaking Anaconda coming out on Christmas.
Oh my God.
They announced the cast today. Hey, I'm a sucker.
What the hell is that movie going to be?
Dude, the first movie of Anaconda is my ultimate rage movie in a horror movie. Because I think the main character, like the good characters, are just some of the biggest freaking idiots I've ever seen in a horror movie of all time.
Yeah, there's a lot of idiots out there. I love the first movie though, man.
The snake looked great, but
yeah, for given the time, yeah, it worked out well. John Voight's in there. I mean, I love it.
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
It's got a Jaws.
Yeah,
it's got a Jaws vibe. This seems to be like a parody almost. Is that like kind of what they're doing?
It's supposed to be kind of like a comedy horror kind of thing. I don't like the approach, but you know what? The whole concept of a snake in this generation is just kind of silly anyway. So I'll give it a chance.
John Voight is.
That's the thing for Christmas. Like,
yeah, that
seems like more of a summer movie. Yeah, John Voight is so over the top in that movie with his whole like Anaconda. He's got like that terrible accent. There's something so like cheesy about that first movie. It's a lot of fun.
You
got Owen Wilson
Davey.
before anyone knew who he was.
Oh yeah, Davey. Yeah. You mentioned the Naked Gun earlier. According to my calendar here, on August the 1st, it's the Naked Gun remake.
Yeah, with Liam Neeson's. I just want to say,
which that's weird. And then, Ding, is Welcome to Derry coming out this year?
That's what. Yeah, let's see here. T. Parker.
I thought that came. Yeah,
not a movie, but yeah, it sounds like it's coming out this year.
Okay, well, if it is, dang gum, talk about the Real Horror Awards for Best Horror Series. We'll have that one. We'll have Wednesday Season 2. We'll have Stranger Things the last season. And we got The Last of Us in April. So talk about the most impossible category for next year, Brad.
Yeah, that's usually one that's not too exciting, but this year it's shaping up to be a good year for it.
Oh, dude, yeah. So, woo!
The last season of Stranger Things is just going to be like Stranger Things. They're in college now somehow. Because they've taken so long to tell the story. These kids are like can like rent cars now. They're in their
It's like
mid
freaking Harry
20s, you know.
It's like they're Harry Potter making those movies, man. They just age over time. It's like, oh, I'm only 14. Like,
they've taken these huge breaks, it feels like, with Stranger Things. I fell off Stranger Things after the second season. I was like, how dare you? So I never went back after that one.
Hey, Brad, 11. You gotta listen to me, 11. You have to check the king. Well, it's a Harry Potter reference. It's like with Ron. It's like, you got to check the king, Ron. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Oh, from the second, from Chamber of Secrets, right?
For the first one.
Oh, it's from the first one.
Yeah. They were playing Wizard's Chess. It's like he's going to sacrifice himself. No, you can't. There must be another way.
There must be another way. Yeah, that's I know. Yeah. No, Ron, no.
Well, shoot, guys. Here we are. Been going for almost 2 hours here. I feel like we've covered quite a bit. We've talked about and celebrated 25 years of Scream 3. We talked about what we want to see from Scream 7. Of course, you guys have your Real Horror Awards tomorrow night, live, 8 p.m. Eastern. There is a link in the description below, folks. Make sure to click that link, set the notification. If you're not already subscribed to Good Real Hunting, go ahead and throw them a sub as well. This one's going to be a hoot, man. I'm really looking forward to the awards show here tomorrow. And gosh, and we even talked about Anaconda with Paul Rudd for some reason. Ant-Man himself.
Hey, and what would be great too, I just now noticed this, and thank you, Davey, Deathray's community for this, because I bet a lot of you are to do. We're at 1,483 subs. I would love to try to get 17 subs for the Real Horror Awards tomorrow to get 1,500.
Yeah. Guys, if you're not already subbed, here's the great thing about it. It's free. Sub to them right now. If you end up watching, you know, I always say, like, just throw the sub and then check out some of the vids. If it's not your thing, no harm, no foul, right? But if we can get them to that 1,500 mark here tonight, that would be amazing. I would imagine that some of y'all are already subbing over there, but here's the cool thing too. Share the channel on social media with folks that you know would dig this sort of content. That's one of the best things you can do. And support these guys on their Real Horror Awards show. It takes a lot of work to organize. With a bunch of flaky ass content creators such as myself, so you gotta go give them the love.
Put us in, chat. Just give us a chance.
Yeah, just give me a chance. There you go. Like Prince says, get that sub going. Oh, look at that, Dean's celebrating a few subs. Man, I've struggled to even. I was like around 1,300 forever, and then it goes to 1,300, and then 2 people unsub, and then it keeps on going back and forth.
It's like a glitch, but I'll just say, Dean, that your first 100 is always the toughest, and then after that, just have fun, man. And you build it, they will come.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing, is you just got to be yourself and let it go naturally, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, guys. Look.
We also want to thank you for allowing us to be on the channel tonight to let us promote and to talk about anything Scream. So,
hell yeah.
Excited to finally be here, man.
Yeah, I finally got Brad out of his dungeon, man, to freaking come on to one of these live streams. So.
I know it's been a long time coming. I'm glad that we could have you guys on, and yeah, especially like you said, to be able to time it at a spot where it could be beneficial to you guys. I think that's one of the great things about the community here is even though somebody might be on a handful of horror channels and jumping in the chats, YouTube has an interesting way of creating blind spots for people. There are great channels out there that I don't get to know about until somebody shares it, so I think that's the best thing you can do. Share the channel if you're already subbed, watch that awards show, jump into the comments, hop on into the chat, and yeah, show these guys some damn love.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm just messing with Brad here real quick.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
are you talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 again?
Yes. 2 could play at that game.
Yeah,
you guys.
But you can't say it, because then people are
it's out there in the internet now. So
by the way, this is Brad. This is totally not Brett. This is Brad.
Oh man, but that
well, hell yeah, guys. Best of luck to your Chiefs this weekend, Brett. But also, I know you don't need it because you got the refs on your side.
I'm at a point now. Let's just make the history and be done with it.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to happen. If you can prevent Saquon from having one 60-yard touchdown run, then it could possibly happen.
Well, it's like I said on the Basement Pro show last night. The last 18 games, playoff games that we played, that we held their running backs to under 100 yards rushing, while Saquon has been rushing for 100 yards for all of his playoff games. So
that's going to be
got to give.
Oh yeah, either Spags is going to solidify his Hall of Fame status, or boo-hoo, the Chiefs only have 3 Super Bowl wins in the last 5 years.
That's the thing.
Worst thing ever.
Hey, Spags and Andy's had 2 weeks to prepare, so we'll give it our best shot. Though. So we know it's going to be a tough task, so we're very excited for this opportunity. It's
going to be a hell of a game. All right, folks, thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out in the chat with us. Really want to thank all the Patreon members, the channel members as well. You guys fuel everything we do here at the channel. You guys are amazing. I swear when I'm back into my, my new studio, we'll be getting going on more content, and especially more members-only content. I'm just in a little bit of a transitional period right now. Thank you so much to the Death Squad mods. I believe tonight we had Cody Snyder, Jamie Hart, Leanna Bevy Rage, Eli Cortez, Brooke Scarlett. Of course, Brett's in there as well. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody else. What else am I forgetting? Guys, sub over at Good Real Hunting. Check the links in the description below. Follow them on socials. Watch the Real Horror Awards 2025 tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be it for us here tonight. I will probably be back sometime this weekend. Oh, actually, I'm going to see Heart Eyes tomorrow night at 7. So I will drop a out of the theater short on that one. And then we'll find a good time to hop on and do a little spoiler-free review with everyone live. So really looking forward to that one. And yeah, that's been Brad there and Brett over on the far side from Good Real Hunting. I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care, y'all.